Welcome back to this video. In a previous video I explained that quite often as someone who shoots predominantly raw images, I've overlooked some of the functionality that Nikon has been building into the modern cameras they're putting out there, the D850s, the Z7s, the Z6s of this world. However, when I'm traveling, quite often I have this dual workflow where I'm creating high definition, high res images which go through a Lightroom Classic workflow, but I'm also looking to produce social media ready images which will go through a mobile workflow which includes perhaps Lightroom, VSCO, perhaps a bit of Snapseed. And therefore I'm thinking, how can I simplify that workflow potentially by using some of the in-camera capabilities of modern mirrorless cameras such as the Z series. In a previous video I've looked at active D-lighting and in-camera HDR, and in this video we're going to take a look at the picture control settings that are built into the Z series cameras and see how those might help us in simplifying that mobile workflow. So let's take a look at some images. Before we dive into the individual filters, I thought it best just to say that in this video I'm going to focus predominantly on picture control for still images. You can obviously use it for videos as well, but I'm going to focus on that in a separate video a bit later. So let's start with the in-camera standard picture controls that are subject specific, and I've also added a ninth one up here which is with the camera in picture control off mode. So we've got various picture controls here which are specific to different subjects. So you've got landscape, portrait, you've got one that's vivid, you've got a monochrome, you've got a flat setting, along with auto and standard. They all look relatively similar apart from probably vivid and monochrome which stand out, and they're quite subtle filters which could be quite good, because if you set the wrong one for the opportunity, the subject you're shooting, then it won't particularly matter. You'll still get an okay shot which you could probably do some post-production to remedy if you wanted. It's important to remember that these picture controls are only applicable to JPEG image shooting. So let's take a look at the specific picture controls. So let's start with a comparison of no picture controls, standard and auto, and I'll start by reading you what Nikon says about the two picture controls here. So standard processing for balanced results, recommended for most situations. And then auto, the camera automatically adjusts hues and tones based on the standard picture control. The complexions of portrait subjects will appear softer, and such elements as foliage and sky in outdoor shots more vivid than in pictures taken with the standard picture control. So I've offset the joins between the different images just so as you can see where the boundaries are, because it is quite subtle between the different picture controls. These are pretty subtle. Just like we found with HDR and active D-lighting. The standard is slightly desaturated in the sky, but not much, and as Nikon say, the auto is slightly more saturated in the foliage area. The greens are slightly more vivid, but it's not massively more noticeable. I'd say the auto has slightly more contrast if you look at the yellow flowers at the bottom versus the green stalks and compare it to the standard. But this is really subtle. This isn't your filters as you find in Instagram or your smartphone. This is a Nikon approach to picture controls which is really subtle. So let's look at neutral. And let's see what Nikon has to say about this. It says minimal processing for natural results. Choose for photographs that will later be processed or retouched. Well, it's quite clear to see the difference between no picture control and neutral on this. And as Nikon says, there's probably quite a bit less sharpening. The colours are slightly subdued compared to the original. The sky, interestingly, has got slightly more saturation in it. So this is a relatively neutral coloured, neutral image for reprocessing. And this is the first picture control where we can clearly see a difference between no picture control and picture control on. So as I say, maybe a good base image if you're looking to reprocess or post-process after the event. So next up we got vivid, and Nikon say here that pictures are enhanced for a vivid photo print effect. Choose for photographs that emphasize primary colors. Well, it's quite clear here again, we've got quite a differential between the no picture controls and vivid, and actually it's not massively oversaturated compared to perhaps what we're used to expecting out of smartphones and Instagram and so on. So again, you know, whilst it is vivid, it's a subtle vivid, and actually for certain scenes, a bit like this one, might actually benefit from this kind of picture control. And with this kind of picture control, it's really important to think about not only what's the image I'm taking, but what's the medium I'm going to be displaying it in. Is it going to be online? Is it going to be printed? Because certain medium will lend themselves to this. So if you're producing perhaps a print that you're going to put on, a image you're going to put on social media, then this kind of vivid picture control could be the one to go for. So next up we've got monochrome, and all Nikon says here is take monochrome photographs. For me it's quite a neutral monochrome. I haven't put a comparison with the no picture control, because obviously that'd be colour versus monochrome, and I'm not sure that's really adding a great deal. For me there's not much contrast in this. You're losing quite a bit in the shadows. And it's a pretty flat monochrome. I think if I was going to take monochrome photographs, I'd go the extra step and shoot in colour in RAW and then do some post-processing, because there is so much more you can do with monochrome than probably what you're going to get out of this picture control. But it may work for some of you and may work for certain situations, perhaps where there's a slightly lower contrast image you're looking at. So next up we've got portrait, and I did think about not showing this one because I have got some portrait shots I'll show a bit later, but sometimes actually using breaking the rules and using the filter that's called portraits for a landscape might give you an image that is different. In this one you can see Nikon's description is process portraits with for skin with natural texture and a rounded feel. Well, you can see that actually there's a little bit of sharpness taken out of the image here. It's a slightly flatter image, as we would have expected from that description. Probably not really the right one for landscapes, but there may be other opportunities to use it that are more akin to portraits. So next up we've got landscape. And here Nikon says produces vibrant landscapes and cityscapes. So don't forget that when they say landscape, it doesn't have to be a natural scene like this. It can be a cityscape. You can see that definitely on the right hand side the landscape picture control does make it more punchy, more vibrant. The greens, the yellows are more vibrant. Although when you look at the sky, it's quite difficult to see the difference between no picture control and landscape. There's a subtle difference. You can see a line there. But again, you know, this is quite subtle. Even the amount of sharpening is pretty similar between the two. So yeah, it does give the image a bit more punch. A bit more depth to it, so could be really good for some of those landscapes and cityscapes, as Nikon says. So finally, flat, and what have Nikon got to say here? Well, details are preserved over a wide tone range, from highlights to shadows. Choose for photographs that will later be extensively processed or retouched. And as you can see here, the image on the right, the flat picture control, is got a lot less sharpening in it. It has got more definition in the shadows in those trees in the middle, which you can see. So yeah, this is really the starting point if you want to put quite some quite strong post-processing over the image. And it'll be interesting, I might take one of these images and give it some treatment in Lightroom to see how it really fares there, whether you can bring out quite a lot of detail from the shadows and the highlights. You can see in the sky it has pulled back the sky to a greater extent than the image with the picture control off. So this could be quite a good starting point if you do plan to do some post-processing on images. So let's take a look at some portraits now, and in this one we've got a mixture of no pitch control on the left, we've got standard in the middle, which you'll remember is about balanced results, and then on the right hand side we've got auto, which is based on the standard, but you'll remember Nikon say that the complexions of portrait subjects will appear softer, and I certainly think that's the case. I think the standard is slightly sharper. Both the standard and the auto are slightly less saturated than the no pitch control. There was some variability in the light. It was a British summer day, so you do get a little bit of variability in the light. I was using autofocus with iAutofocus for all of these, and I was using the SnapBridge app just to check that the focus was on, and every time it nailed the eye really quickly, which was reassuring to see. So hopefully this gives you a view of no pitch control, the standard picture control, and auto in a portrait situation. So next we've got neutral, and interestingly on this one it does give a slightly cooler skin tone, but what you can see is some of the highlights are blown out very slightly in the hair on this one, which was slightly surprising. It's slightly more realistic, perhaps green of the plants in the background, but maybe an opportunity for a starting point for post-processing, but I'd have to test that to see whether you can bring back anything from those highlights. So next up we got vivid, and probably not your best starting point for a portrait. As you can see, the skin tones have got a bit more punch in them. There's a bit of sharpening in there, which is probably less flattering for a portrait shot. And again, the highlights in the hair and the background are slightly blown out, and I'm not sure whether you could recover those. And this is the monochrome pitch control. Again, not a bad monochrome. However, you can see that the highlights are blown out in the hair on this one, so probably worth thinking about what's the subject you're shooting and whether this is the best approach to get a monochrome shot. So this is one you've probably been waiting for. This is the portrait picture control on a portrait. It's quite sensitive to the skin tones. It's just taken a little bit of colour out of them. It's also smoothed them a little bit, which if you're using a Z-mount lens, which are notoriously sharp, is worth having, just giving that slightly more flattering, smoother approach to a portrait image. So I'd certainly recommend this picture control if you're going to be shooting portraits. It'll just save you a little bit of time in post-processing in getting those skin tones right, and also a slightly more flattering, softer image. So finally, the flat picture profile, and as the name suggests, this again is quite a flat profile. Great if you want to do some more serious post-processing on it. You'll also notice in this one it has retained some of the detail in the highlights, probably more than some of the other picture controls. So if you're going to do some post-processing, this may be the one to start from, even if you're not doing that much serious post-processing. But overall, I think my choice would probably be the portrait one on this, because I think Nikon have got it about right. So finally, after my recent video on active delighting and in-camera HDR, I thought I'd combine portrait picture control with active delighting on auto. So here's the comparison versus the settings all off versus portrait plus ADL on auto. And this is a comparison of solely portrait picture control versus portrait picture control plus ADL on auto. There is a very slight difference when you turn the active delighting on. It perhaps brings out some of the detail in the skin, and that may or may not be to your liking, but to be honest with you, I had to zoom in to about 100% before I could really see the difference. So we really are getting into pixel peeping territory here. There is a very subtle difference in the skin tone as well. When you add active delighting back in, it goes back slightly more pink in the tones. So which one you choose really will be up to the style of image you're trying to create and what your preferences are. So next let's take a really quick look at what Nikon calls their creative picture controls, and there's 20 of these in the Z series cameras. And Nikon describes them as being a unique combination of hue, tone, saturation and other settings tuned for a particular effect. As you can see, they are quite diverse, and they really do come down to personal preference. There's only one real way to find out which ones you like and which ones you don't, and that's to take some photos with them and try them out. Here I've used the same landscape photo for all of them. They aren't all typically useful for landscape, as you'll see when we canter through them, but I didn't want to spend too much longer on this. I really didn't want to hear you snoring at the other end of the video. So I hope that's given you a quick insight into the inbuilt picture controls that Nikon put into their Z series cameras and some of their DSLRs. There is some capability both in camera and using a separate piece of software to make some adjustments to those picture controls to tailor them to how you like to shoot. I was going to do it in this video, but we're up to 15 minutes now, so what I'm going to do is do a separate video on that functionality and how you can customize picture controls to create the right kind of image for the style you're shooting. So that'll be in a future video. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. Perhaps let us know in the comments below which of the picture controls you're using and which you find are a bit left field for you. And I hope to see you in a future video.